Welcome to a MaddenUniversity.com production of Game Film, featuring actual online play from Madden NFL 16 from EA Sports. Today's matchup features the Carolina Panthers at the New Orleans Saints. And there's the kick. Let's get started. First thing we notice is that our opponent likes to kick to his deep left, our deep right, so we'll keep that in mind as we continue throughout the game. On our first play, our opponent's defending with nickel 2-4-5 set, which we like for lead block runs up the middle. Not much there, but that's something we believe we can come back to a little later in the game. But for right now, we're going to come out in the same formation we just used for our first down play, except this time we're going to pass the ball. We notice that he is still, once again, in that 2-4-5 set, so we're going to throw a quick pass out to the tight end for the first down. At this point, we want to see how he's going to react to different formations. So this time we lined it up in a single back big twins. And notice again, he's using a nickel 2-4-5 base. He does a good job of swallowing up our halfback stretch play. So we hurry back to the line. And audible to one of our favorite pass plays, smash from that same formation. Our opponent just controlled the strong safety, Kenny Vaccaro. But instead of covering the deep middle on this cover 3, he cheats up on the tight end running the corner. We get a long pass out of it. After going back to the huddle, we opt for another weak eye formation, but his nickel 2-4-5 puts pressure on for a nice stop. We believe we can use the weak eye slot formation to get the ball a little closer using the curls play. But on this play, we start scanning the field from left to right, and we don't have time to hit our open receiver in the right flat before the pressure gets to us. By now, you may have noticed that our opponent is using a heavy blitz scheme that alternates between man and zone concepts. But this is going to be our first third and long situation, so we're not sure exactly what to expect. Here we run the weak eye slot corners play, not because we like it, but because we don't want our opponent to see our best play just yet. The back motion to the slot and hot routed to the slant becomes our hot read, but everything's covered, almost a turnover. Good defense. As disappointed as I am to have not earned a first down, I'm not too proud to get on the board first with a field goal. I'll take the 3 points. Now that we got a field goal on the board, we can get to the best part of the game, and that's playing defense and stopping our opponent. We like to kick the ball deep and to the left with the ball between the numbers and the sideline to cut off the amount of field that our opponent can return the ball. On his first play, our opponent uses a formation that's commonly uses the halfback toss play. So we overshift to the wide side of the field to take away his numbers mismatch. On his second play, we don't have enough exposure to his offense to craft a scheme just for him, so we're running one play behind. We set up our defense by blitzing a safety to stop a toss to the other side. It's still too early to pinpoint a pattern, even if he hurries to the line on a short yardage play. This time we stack the box, but we're really looking for a pass. He uses motion to throw us off the scent before he runs it up the middle. That's a good first down pickup. With his 1st and 10 at the 30, our opponent opts for a flipped single back jumbo formation from the right hash. We expect a toss or a stretch play going to the left. I manually shift the defensive end and crash inside to open a gap for stacked defenders to get through unblocked. Our opponent called his last play with the hurry up in mind. For this play, we're expecting a pass play as soon as the tight end motions to the outside. We'll quickly drop the coverage to the first down marker and blitz one more than he can block. At this point, we realize we must call plays with the expectation of potential no huddle. So our goal will be to keep the ball in front of us and no missed tackles. Our opponent doesn't disappoint. He hurries to the line and uses the same formation with a shotgun, 3 receiver by 2 receiver empty backfield. Usually I'd blitz here, but we don't want to give that part of our game plan away yet. So instead, we'll just move around so he can't get a good pre-snap read on the coverage. No snap. His waiting for the second quarter tells me that our opponent might not be nearly as impulsive as I thought he was. As we start the second quarter, our opponent calls a quick audible to a tight 4-wide formation because he sees something that he thinks will be advantageous. He wants to run the ball up the middle, but Luke Kuechly and Thomas Davis are pretty good at making sure that doesn't happen. And he gets stopped for a really short game. Second one in a row. Hurry up leaves me with few options, so I opt for cover 2-man. Flipped just in time to cover his tight end in the verticals play run coming across the middle. On 4th and 9, we still aren't sure what our opponent likes to do. So we load up the zones, play coverage underneath, then try to knock the ball down. Success! Now we got to make it hurt. On our first down play, we see a nickel wide linebacker ends package against our I form normal, and we expect to face a blitz. It's 2nd and 8, and we see the nickel wide LB ends again. And once again, we expect a blitz, but instead of running into it, this time we plan on throwing over it. We've hit 2 deep pass plays with our opponent controlling the safety. We can come back to that later in the game. Our intention is to run the ball for a small gain on the inside, but our opponent stacks the box and makes the outside deep ball just way too appealing. Our left guard has some trouble holding up in pass protection, and pressure forces a throw quicker than we would have liked. Judging by the formation, we expect a deep ball, but our opponent runs a power play opposite our blitz for a short gain. Several times our opponent has alternated run and pass from the same formation. We're looking pass all the way here. We get exactly what we wanted, only to fail at making the play. Usually, failing to make a gimme defensive play that would be a takeaway leads to a big play for the offense. Once again, our goal is to keep the ball in front of us and to make sure tackles. That's not what's going to happen at this point. Our opponent just capped a 3-play, 80-yard drive with a 77-yard touchdown pass, shook off 3 tacklers, and outran the secondary. I don't anticipate that happening too many more times. That's a good extra point, and now we're down 4. This changes the game a bit. With 3:48 left in the half, it's imperative that we score points on this drive. We can't afford to go down 2 scores. More importantly, we can't afford to turn it over. Our starting field position could be better, but it's not terrible. Here we begin to use one of my favorite formations. The single back dice slot formation is one we use often in our 4-minute offense. Here we have plenty of time to make a throw, but we overshoot the post going to the corner and give the ball right back to the Saints. Kenny Vaccaro's having a great day. Our first clue to our opponent's intentions is the tight end lined up on the left side of the I formation. We're expecting a run to the left. These Saints have habitually used no huddle to follow a run with the pass. We've mostly responded with cover 3 zone coverage. This time we'll mix in man coverage and see how we fare. We get tighter coverage than our opponent expects. That creates an incompletion. Last time we saw this formation, we were hit with a run-pass, no-huddle sequence. On this play, our opponent sees his outside slot receiver running free and fires the ball for a leaping catch. No surprise, our opponent is gearing up for a no-huddle play. If he holds true to form, he will alternate, this time from pass to run. Our defense has an answer for that. Once again, our opponent hurries to the line to keep our defense off balance. But instead of quick snapping the ball to catch us off guard, he wants to run as much time off the clock as possible. The wide receiver in motion and the incessant audibles are a sure tell that he's preparing to pass. We spread the line, crash outside, use man coverage, jam his receivers, pass commit, and play our coverage underneath to get that stop we need. Now that we have the ball back, our offense has all the time in the world to get into scoring range, as long as we don't make another foolish mistake. Having just avoided a drive-killing turnover, our next move needs to be carefully executed. We audible to a play that will flood his zone defense, and we dump the ball to the flat to keep our third down attempt manageable. As time ticks down, we call a no-huddle run play that will safely pick up the first down and take us to the 2-minute warning. With the stakes a little higher and a long field to defend, we look for our opponent to play it safe. We use both tight ends on streaks to run off the undercoverage, then hit our receiver on a slant to get to midfield. From midfield, having all our timeouts gives us the advantage in our hurry-up situations. Even short runs put the thought of a long ground gain in our opponent's mind. While our opponent concerns himself with defending the line of scrimmage, we audible to the smash play and throw a short pass to the flat for the second time this drive to create another manageable third down. On 3rd and 2, we expect our opponent to load up to defend a run play to the halfback, so we split the running back out to the wide side of the field, where Kenny Vaccaro almost makes us pay once again. From the 40, we're too far away to attempt a field goal, but way too close to punt. Besides that, points from this drive are a must-have. On 4th and 2, an audible to a short pass with a drag route gives our receiver room to turn up the field behind a block from the tight end. From this area of the field, we expect pressure that will knock us out of field goal range. Our fullback slides to the left to pick up the blitz, and our quarterback fires a dart for the toe-tap catch at the sideline. In scoring range with a fresh set of downs, our priority is to make safe throws or eat the ball if the play isn't there. We call a screen hoping to catch our opponents in a blitz. Unfortunately, they're all over it. Time is of the essence. Call the timeout and save those precious seconds. After the sack, 2nd and 25 can put us in a pinch if we take another. Our opponent is bound to bring the heat. However, our quarterback feels it from the left, slides just enough, and heeds a sidearm pass right into our slot receiver's arms. In an attempt to sneak into the end zone, we hurry up to the line to run the inside zone play. Once again, Kenny Vaccaro isn't fooled. Alright, we're gonna quit messing with you. Although we didn't score a touchdown, we can take all the time off the clock, call a timeout, and kick a field goal at the end of the half to make it a 1-point game. See what happens in the second half in part 2.